guys, and welcome back to NoBlandMakeup, where we do makeup and body paint tutorials, usually with a cosplay twist. And I'm still doing my World Cup series, but I really needed a break. So we're doing Ariel from The Little Mermaid today. But before we get into the tutorial, I have a merch store. So if you guys want to help support the channel, get some cool stuff like t-shirts, stickers, hoodies, all those kinds of things, they will be in the link anyway, will be in the description down below. But back to what you're actually here for. So I'm gonna start off this, I don't even know what this is. This is kind of like an anime eye kind of thing, but whatever. I'm gonna start it off by blocking out my eyebrows. Now I am gonna do a dedicated video to this after I do the World Cup series. But for now, here are some tips on how to do it. Get some glue stick. There are a few different ways to actually block out your eyebrows. I like this method the best because I feel I can get my eyebrows the flattest. One thing though, you don't necessarily have to flatten your eyebrows in the direction your hairs grow. You can, lay them whichever way as long as the surface that you're working with is flat. I like a glue stick that has a little bit of tint to it, like this purple one that I was using, just so when it dries, I'll know because it will no longer be purple. Next thing you're going to want to do is set with powder once your eyebrows are completely dry, and then go over with a stick foundation or concealer, anything that's going to be high coverage to basically get rid of your eyebrows. Make sure you blend it out really well too. I just realized that last part sounded super scripted, but that's what happens when your brain stops working for a second. Now, if your brow hairs are still showing through, you can either color correct with something orange, or you can go over with a little bit more concealer. That is up to you. Also, don't forget to go in with some powder between each of the layers. This will help lock everything in, and that way when you're putting on, say, concealer over the foundation, it doesn't move what you already put down. So once all your eyebrows have basically disappeared from your face, we're gonna go ahead and apply some foundation. I laid it on pretty thick. You don't really have to be honest, as long as it matches the color that you're working with on your brows, unless you decided to go with a highlight. That's a different story though. But you want to apply some foundation to even out everything, because we're going to be a Disney character and they're basically perfect. For the concealer, I decided to bring it out a little bit more than I would normally do, just because Ariel, when you look at her from the front, she has pretty, I wouldn't say chubby cheeks, but she's got some cheekage going on. So I wanted to really emphasize that, and I also wanted to emphasize it with the contouring that I'm going to do after. Anytime you do a highlight, you always want to do a contour just to bring some balance. Since I'm going to be using a powder contour though, I want to go ahead and set all my liquid products before I do that. That way when I put on my powder products over top, it'll be a lot easier to blend everything out. Now, as I said before, I'm going to go ahead and contour. Ariel's cheekbones, I wouldn't say protrude, but they are definitely more noticeable. So I'm going to go ahead and try to slim down my face, because I have chubby cheeks. But rounded chubby cheeks, not like angular face chubby cheeks. If you already have an angle to your face or like really defined cheekbones, you can totally skip this part. And because Ariel is a Disney princess, rosy cheeks are a thing, so I went ahead and applied a little bit of blush just on the apples of the cheeks. And now for the eyes. So I've done this video before. The reason I never posted it though is because I accidentally made one of her eyes a little bit kind of more oval shaped than the other one. Like one was higher up, the other one came lower down. Kind of threw everything off a bit. So when you're doing this, make sure that your first shape of her eye is even with the other side. I promise you that will save you so much time and energy and removing of things. It will just generally make your life a lot easier. Then I went in with some turquoise body paint. This looks a lot lighter than it actually was in person, but that's okay. Depending on which picture of Ariel you're looking at, she either has turquoise eyes, some pictures she has like dark blue ones, so it kind of depends on which depiction you're going with. But just like with the whites of her eyes, you want to make sure that on both sides, the colored part of her eye is also even, because again, it is so much easier if you do this now as opposed to later and then realize it was just a little bit off, and by a little bit I mean a lot of it. And to prepare myself for doing the black part of her eye, I decided to outline the rest of the eye. This gave me a minute to kind of figure out what I'm doing with my life and to figure out how I was going to get that part even. Tips for that is honestly start with a smaller area. You know, you can always add on and make it a little bit larger as opposed to already having it being super big and then trying to shrink it and then removing all of the rest of her eyeball. And yeah. So my advice, just like it is for everything else, start with the little, take your time, you can always add. When and only when you are satisfied with where her eyes are at this point, then you can go in and apply the white dots of like light, or I don't even know what those dots really are, to be honest. I see them in like every cartoon character and anime character, especially when they're being cutesy, like, I don't know. But once you're happy with the placement of everything else, then you can go in and apply those dots. To finish off the eyes, we're literally just going to apply some eyelashes. You can do these in more of a triangular motion because, as you can see from her giant eyes, we're not really going for realism with this one. Not at all. A lot of the pictures I see, she only has 3. I'm going with 4. You do however many you want. Now, normally if I was doing brows, I would tell you to fill them in with little hair strokes and make it natural and all that other kind of stuff, but I have giant bug eyes on my face, so no. What I actually wound up doing, because I started to do it like that, and then I realized this is not getting me what I want, and this is taking forever. I did draw in my eyebrows a little bit thicker than Ariel has. Also, for anybody who's curious, the auburn dip brow is a little bit too brown for the crazy red hair I'm about to put on. But I basically drew out the shape and then that I wanted and then filled it in. I did have to go in and adjust them between the two brows. One was a little bit lower than the other one. And the only thing really that I would change for this is that I forgot to give her an eyelid, but if we're being honest, she really doesn't have one. She's just a lot of eye. So you can do that if you want. I didn't, mostly because I forgot. So this is about the part where I thought I was done and then realized that I was not done. Before you think you're done, apply a like reddish pink lipstick. Depending on the picture, like I said before, she has different colors to her lips. I just went with a darker kind of nude pink. It looks way more pink in the video, but in person it's not as pink for what it's worth. For the record, Ariel is 16. If you think that a mermaid who is 16 is not going to take a selfie, I don't know where you guys thought you were. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As you can see, I had a lot of fun doing it. I haven't done something like this successfully in a long time. So if you guys have anything you want to see on my channel, let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to give me a big thumbs up, subscribe to see what comes out of my channel next, and yeah, let me know who your favorite Disney character is, and maybe I'll do them next. Who knows? But I'll see you guys next time. Bye.